Come on in. Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name is Katie O'Neill and I am so excited to show you, I don't know, a coach that I'd actually like to have myself today. You can always find me at 303-562-8659. Again, 303-562-8659. And today we are looking at a 2026 Dutch Star in the Onyx package, and man oh man is this coach hot. So as you can see, we are in a front entry two full bath coach with bunks. And so as usual, I like to start my videos from the inside out. So Jody, please go ahead and take her on back. But you know, this is the Morel finish. The Morel has a suede finish on it now. So Morel cabinet suede finish coach. It has a Stratton interior, which is my favorite. This is the same gray tone that I have in my Superstar. In my bunk model Superstar, the one thing I'm missing is a second bath. And to have a second bath with a shower, wow, talk about fantastic. So first and foremost, just want to show you the back of the door here. We have a really nice pocket door here with a full-length mirror. Now, why do I point that out right away? Because there's also a pocket door with a full-length mirror in the mid-bath. And I have a 17-year-old daughter and a 21-year-old son. And I'll tell you what, if I didn't have a full-length mirror in the mid-bath, it wouldn't matter whether or not I had one, or it wouldn't matter whether or not I had a shower in there, because she'd still be back here in my bathroom all the time. So again, this is a very cool setup for anybody who's looking to travel with more than just themselves. Now, I oftentimes recommend to people that a coach like this can be used also just for storage. But if you are looking for that just for storage coach, keep in mind that this 4340 Dutch Star also comes with a closet configuration that has doors on it and a hanging rod. So I would certainly choose that different option if I was looking for a coach to travel with storage. This is really meant for at least 3 people, if not 4, or maybe up to 6, and I'll show you why. So first and foremost, take a look inside this shower. This is really fantastic. It's got a ton of space. It has a really, really nice seat in the back. You do not need the teak bench. As you can see, this is a 50-inch long shower. It's an incredible amount of room, and the finish on it is just gorgeous. So this is, of course, the countertop that comes with this coach pattern, but it's got a silver sparkle in it. It's got a lot of movement. It's set with this very small subway tile, both horizontal and vertical. And then you have this really great faucet set, and everything is done in this like nice dark metal, and it's on a slide rod. And I know it sounds silly, but if you want to put this down and sit down and have warm water on you while you're shaving your legs or washing your feet, and I don't care if you're a dude. I mean, if you're a guy and you got stinky feet, you can go ahead and wash your feet and sit down, and there's a lot of room on this bench. I mean, a big guy can sit in here and be very, very comfortable. And then on top of it, I love the fact that we have our shower miser system. So when you have a 75-gallon fresh or gray water tank and a 55-gallon black water tank, a lot of times you're not going to use up that black water, but you're going to be going through that gray water tank. So you can save water. I did turn on the light here today. So this will be blue right now. It'll actually change colors whenever it's done heating the water. You set it to recycle to heat the water. It's running a system behind the scenes, heating the water, and then when you put it back over, it starts to come out and fill in your gray water tank. So until that happens, you're actually just heating that 105 gallons of fresh water. The other thing that's really nice about this is because of the fact that it has a cathedral ceiling, you can set this so that it's really tall. And so in other words, if you're a big dude and you're trying to get underneath here, you can put that shower head up really tall. I'm wearing a small heel today. I'm about 5'3" on the normal. But as you can see, you could definitely get someone pretty tall in here. And then I love this. So not only is it a nice place to keep your shampoo and conditioner, it also has a soap dish here where you keep your razor, you can keep your toothpaste and toothbrush if you brush your teeth in the shower. But it drains out. It's actually etched out so that it's not going to hold water, which is just, again, this attention to detail really is what separates Newmar from the rest. So a lot of times you hear our tagline when you know the difference. But I've got to tell you, in looking at other trade-ins that come in, there are so many things that are much nicer on a Newmar RV than there are on other products. It's really worth doing the research and making sure you get the right coach. The towel racks on the outside of the shower door, of course, are fantastic. Another great feature of the Bunk model, though, is all of this additional storage. So if you see in here, these are adjustable shelves. So for anyone who wants to be able to travel with kids, you know how many shoes you have. So to have a place where you can store extra shoes in the coach is a fantastic thing. The other thing that's really nice about this, so I have different lights set throughout the coach. I have all the lights on here in the bathroom, vanity lights, ceiling lights overhead, and then I've got the accent light here underneath the sink. But as you can see, there's actually plenty of room and an outlet here for a toothbrush. So if you want to have your toothbrushes plugged in, you can do that. And then there's still plugs here in the rear medicine cabinet. And this is a really deep medicine cabinet. So you've got tons of room for storage and different heights of things as well. But you can really keep all the supplies that you need for everybody in the household in this rear medicine cabinet. I love the glass undermount sink. It ties in really nicely with the faucet set. And then on top of it, you also have these really cool top smaller drawers. And of course, these are great for anybody who wants to be able to keep their toothpaste and toothbrushes in. You could have a kid's drawer. You could have a his and hers. I mean, there's just a ton of extra space in here. And as you can see, these are all solid maple drawers with soft close. And there's plenty of towel storage here underneath as well. And then on the flooring here, you can see this is a really nice wide plank wood floor in this beautiful gray, lots of movement. It's going to stay very, it's going to be very easy to have it looking clean. But on top of it, it's also a heated floor in the back here. So you've got the 3-zone heated floor throughout the coach. So if you want to keep this warm, keep the bedroom cool, and then heat the front of the coach, you could do that. Another great feature, of course, is our splendid stackable washer and dryer. In my Superstar, in my Bunk model, I have to open the slide to switch the laundry over from the washer here on the bottom to the dryer here on top. I do keep my towels in the dryer, and I use these as if they are, you know, laundry bins for the most part. Like I'll put darks in one side and lights in the other until it's time to do laundry. But it's really, really nice to be able to do laundry going down the road. And in this case, you would definitely have to do the marine crawl over the bed if the slides were in to get into this rear bathroom. But you could still crawl over the top of the bed and get in here and swap out your laundry without having to park and open up that slide like I have to. Another great feature, of course, is that there is a robe hook up here. For me, when I get ready in the morning, I definitely want to have my robe. And when I get out of the shower, I want to have a place to hang it up to dry. So that's a nice feature. And then I'm sitting on this porcelain throne. As you can see, lots and lots of room here. So lots of space. Nice, really kind of artistic, you know, if you will, toilet paper holder. I actually have these in my house now because of the fact that I sell these really nice coaches. I've decided that these are things. Let's just figure out what's going on here. Okay, so this is a magnetic cover for the staircase, and or I shouldn't say staircase, ladder. But there is a fully deployable rear metal ladder. So very robust, very nice and safe out here in this egress. So if there was ever any kind of emergency and you needed to evacuate yourself or the children, you've got that door separating the front of the house to the rear, and you would be able to come out of the rear of the coach with this ladder. And then after you're done using it, you would be able to put it back into place. This is also a great place for anyone who's got dogs that wants to load up their coach to be able to drop out linens and things like that without having to, you know, find furry friends, you know, running out the door, because you can open this and just keep one of these pocket doors shut. So we're going to step down into the master bedroom here. This is a 72 by 80 RV King. It's very important to make that delineation. RV Kings are not the same as a Cal King, for instance. They're much shorter this way. But this 72 by 80 mattresses, as you can see, radius, so this has got the dual inflation, but it's also got the shades drawn here on either side. So I've got these nice blackout shades that are down. And then on the Lamborghins, there's this really very attractive, very high end, and, you know, very, you know, and it's not ornate, I shouldn't say that. It's a very neutral wrap, but it makes this coach It shows how well finished this coach is. It's a very nice lambrequin. And then you have little glass pocket doors up here on top with the little grommets that come out down below and reading lights. And those are going to go over here into your nightstands. And the nightstand, you can see there's a cutout there. So if you had a CPAP machine or anything along those lines, you could actually run your cords in and out of that area. I don't have the cutout, so I literally take my cords and I put them in the door and close it on the cords. I'm sure it's not supposed to do that, but don't tell Apple, whatever. And so but that's how I put them away when I'm driving. Where this, you could actually like fish them through whenever you get to the place that you're going and not actually have to replace and destroy your cords while you're storing them in your RV. Now I'm showing you this underneath because there's a few different things going on. As I mentioned earlier, air mattress. So this is a dual-sided air mattress. You can have his and her settings, whatever's comfortable. Then you see these 11-inch inserts. I've got this one flipped over just so you can see how wide that is. And then these 2 extra chairs. So this is an optional Eurobooth dinette on this coach. And with that optional Eurobooth dinette that you have, one of the nice features is when you pull that dinette out with these 2 extra chairs, you can actually seat a total of 6 people. So in the configuration that we've ordered this Dutch Star into, keep in mind, you can special order coaches with me. I'm about to turn in number 7 for the end of the year. So I've got 6 coaches currently on order, special order, with names on them for people from all over the country. But you can really get these coaches customized. And we tried to anticipate the use of this one, but we've got a full-size hide-a-bed, right? So we've got the big hide-a-bed, we've got the 2 bunks, and then we have this RV King in the back. So you could have yourself, your kids, and your grandchildren all on a road trip together. I know it sounds like a lot, but when you put this second shower and bathroom into this configuration, this could be like a trip of the lifetime. They could come up even if they flew in maybe and met you at Anchorage. You could do, these Alaska tours. You could go up through Canada. You could fly out to, the Keys. Have them fly in and stay with you for a week. I mean, this is really an amazing difference maker in terms of how this coach is outfitted. And then some cool features. So I've got the courtesy lights on down below so you can see that. And I also wanted to show there's no more carpet on this coach. So in 2026, moving forward, we have done some great modifications. And one of them is even in a Ventana product or a Northern Star, all of our Class A's are no longer going to have a carpet in them. And so you have this nice flooring throughout. So very, very, not just resistant to dirt and debris, but when you're mopping, you don't have to worry about your carpet getting wet. If you spill a drink, you don't have to worry about it soaking into anything. I mean, this coach is really made to be very, very robust and functional. And as you saw in the back, we had that extra wardrobe for hanging, right? Then we have our 2 wardrobes here. And as you can see here, we have the safe mounted into the subframe of the wall over here. So you still have your safe, you still have your full wardrobes, your 43-inch flat screen TV. Your slide controls are still manual, as they always have been. You've got your full extension, pocket doors. Oops, don't do that. There we go. Pocket drawers. And then you also have, because this is a kid coach, a great place to be able to put in a DVD player, a PlayStation, and this is, again, an adjustable shelf. Or, again, if you're not going to have those things in this coach, you could use that, again, for shoes. And then when I wanted to show you this one, when I say full extension, it's really nice that it comes out past the wardrobe. Again, these are all just little things that Newmar thinks of. Now you'll see here, I've got the nightshades drawn in this coach. I'm going to go ahead and go here to the center panel. This is a big difference for this coach. Jody, you can stay there because I'm going to pull these up. So one of the big differences for this coach is that now we have in this coach, all of the shades are now integrated into your app. So no longer do I have to find my remote for the front or the rear of the shades. When we left the MCD shade package behind and moved into this new brand, one of the things that we were able to do is integrate everything into our new ATC panel and into our new Newmar app. Now, I wanted to show as well, for me, air circulation is paramount, but I love the fact that you've got this really nice hard surface where you could put a fan and then have a screened opening window. I don't think you would ever really have to use this as an emergency exit because of the fact that you've got the rear egress in this coach, but that is a great feature to get that fresh air here. And then I don't have the ceiling lights in here. I wanted to show you how beautiful this is if you just have the accent lights. I always say this reminds me of like the Star Trek finish. It's got this just beautiful, you know, soft, sweeping curve throughout, all of this nice LED lighting glowing from the behind. And it's really just a gorgeous execution of light, and then tied in with these night lights, it's just a great way to be able to get around at night and to be able to see what you're doing. And if you want, I'll even go into the bedroom. I can just go ahead and turn off just the accent lights. So you can see if you wanted to have just a night light on for the kiddos, you could have something that would give them the ability to come and go into the center bath. So here in the center bath, again, I just have accent lights on, and when Jody goes in there, we're going to show you that mirror. I think he'll probably stand in the shower when he does it because he hates being in the beauty shots. I asked him if I could have his gimbal today, and he totally shut me down on that. But here you go. So this is for Stella Rose, a full-length mirror. So nice to have. And also you can see here with just the accent lights, I've got them on here. I'm going to go ahead and go in here. It's called stool room. There's your cosmetic lights, which are nice and bright. And then I add ceiling lights. So for anybody who's trying to get ready in the morning, you've got really good light options available to you, as well as a really nice place to be able to keep your hair dryer and flat iron. And then since we never get a chance to do this, Jody, we might as well let you look at this. Jody can see everything. Jody never gets to do this because he's usually in the hallway. But take a look at all of the storage in this coach. Now, of course, this is a really important thing, right? When you have more people than just the two of you, being able to have all the bug spray and the Band-Aids and the suntan lotion, the spray on and the extra thick, I mean, all that stuff is important. And as you can see here, we have kept with our fantastic tradition of labeling everything with a label maker, but you can see over here, ATC net. So this ATC is the new feature for 2026. And the reason that we went to the ATC panels and we left, is because we've left our pure sine inverters behind. We're now using Victron, so the Magnum inverters, the 2800 watt Magnum inverters are gone. Now we've got a 300 amp watt, or 300 watt. We have a Victron inverter, two 3000 watt, not 300, two 3000 watt Victron inverters. And the reason we're using ATC with our new inverter system is because this coach has the optional 640 amp hour battery. That's a Lithionics battery. So ATC, Victron, and Lithionics all speak really well together. And when I'm talking about speaking well together, what that means and how it impacts you is that an ATC system tells the coach, I need more juice. Turn on your generator. The ATC system is monitoring those batteries, and they say, okay, put this much juice into that battery system. It's managing, it's a BMS, it's a battery management system. So ATC speaking to Victron to make sure that you've got the right amount of draw coming out of those batteries allows you to have a much better experience as an owner operator in this coach. Because you want to keep those batteries full, but you don't want to continue to fill them when they are already full. So this system is very communicative. It tells, the batteries tell ATC what it needs. Of course, again, this coach is a 4340. So all 43-foot Dutch Stars have some different features than a 40-foot Dutch Star would, for instance. A 10 kilowatt quiet diesel generator, right? So that's a standard feature. You go from an 8 kilowatt to a 10 on a 43-foot coach. You also go to a 150 gallon fuel capacity. The optional features on this coach, of course, are going to be the Lithionics package. And when you ante into that Lithionics package and you no longer have the 8 AGM batteries, you automatically get a second inverter, which allows you to run your central air conditioner. Now listen guys, if you're going down the road through Florida, it gets hot. It might be 102 and then there's humidity on top of it. Not having to run your generator and being able to run your central air conditioner off of your batteries is clutch. Now, why is that? Because it's not using diesel fuel. These batteries are being recharged by the alternator going into the battery system. So you don't need to run anything, and you're also keeping your batteries, again, not only topped off, but topped off at that right level while you're going down the road. So you can drive 5 or 6 hours through a very humid, hot environment and run your air conditioner not only at the dash, but also in the center of the coach, keeping a nice, comfortable temperature for your grandkids, for your dogs, for your children, without having to run the gen. Now, you could run the generator and run all of your other air conditioners. You've got 3 on a 43-foot coach as opposed to, well, we got 3 on a 40-foot coach. You get 2 on our 38-foot version. I know that's a lot to remember. Call me. I know most everything about these things because I just constantly study them, and I'm always ordering stuff. But 3 air conditioners on a 40, 3 air conditioners on a 43, but on either one with that second inverter, you can run that central air conditioner. Okay, this is a huge new feature. Now, you'll notice that I have the light on in this one too, because both of these have an aquamizer system. So let's say that you're the early riser of the family, you get that water tank heated up. It's heated up for everybody, which is so nice. But this also has a great, again, just that little groove that shows where you've got your soap. It's not going to pool up and be gross. And you've got a place to keep your shampoo, conditioner, and probably body wash. I mean, you can fit 3 things there very easily. And then a rain shower, seriously, and a skylight. I mean, this is just a really fantastic feature. And all of your ceiling fans are going to be the rain sensing ceiling fans. But what's so nice about this coach, and so Jody, if you just turn around, catch these windows. These are optional windows in a bunk. But if you open up these windows and you've got your fans going in the center of this coach, you can really bring in a lot of fresh air. And these guys have shade controls over here all on their own. They've got their own light controls. You'll notice that the 2 110 outlets are now paired with, as opposed to 2 USBs, they now have the Type A and the Type C USB ports in them. So regardless of the type of apparatus your kids have, whether it be any kind of Samsung or Apple, they can charge their device here in the coach. And then as you can see here, this is just with the day shade deployed, but they've got their own shade controls. So that's super nice. And then for those of you who aren't going to have the kids with you all the time, you could leave this at home. You could stow it on the top or the bottom. I think we keep ours on the top. I don't really remember, honestly. We use our bunks mostly for stuff. And if you want proof of it, I went camping with our Colorado chapter, the Cruisin' Airs, at the beginning of this month. And when I packed up, I was like, I'm going to take a picture of what my bunk looks like right now, because it was full of crap. But it was a cool trip. I just had a lot of stuff to bring with me, and I didn't have my kids. So we use this bunk for storage. If you do that, these mattresses are removable, and they've got a nice felt-lined finish on the bottom of them. So if you do have crates, they're not going to make a lot of noise. But then on top of it, if you are in the position where you're taking your kids camping, I have to tell you, just speaking from experience, these drawers are worth their weight in gold. You can fit so many t-shirts, so many pairs of jeans, shorts, underwear, socks in these drawers. And if you aren't taking your kids camping, I don't know what you want to put in them, but I'll tell you, what a nice thing to be able to drag and drop your AirPods, Stella Rose. I found them outside on the picnic table. Here's your charging cord, CJ. Here's your guitar strap, CJ. Everything's just back in their drawers. So instead of you having to chase them around and remind them to pick up after themselves, you've just got a place where you could just dump all the stuff that's theirs while you're camping, so you don't have to worry about replacing it when they can't find it. Okay, hydronic heat. You've got a dual loop Oasis system with these heat registers. Again, these are heated floors, so less important to you than me. These heat registers keep my floors warm, so I use them a lot. Your central vac, I really like the fact that it's not in the bathroom. Of course, this is to put your hoses in. But one of the things that I'll say about mine is in the center bath, and I keep a rug out there for when I get out of the shower. So I have to move it whenever I'm using that kick plate. But I use my kick plate all the time. So for those of you who think, oh, I don't know if I need a central vac, I've got to tell you, it's very handy to just have a broom in this coach. And you wake up in the morning, you make your coffee, Go ahead, sweep your floors, get everything in that kick plate, and you don't have that gritty stuff under your feet. It's a really nice feature of this coach. Now here in the center, let's just cover this. So first of all, we talked about the app, right? So you can go into either the Apple Store, or if you've got a Android, you can go into the Google Play Store, download your app, and you can actually use this Newmar app to control all of your lights. So you can see this is going to be outdoor lights, living room lights, kitchen lights, bathroom lights, bedroom lights, and stool room lights. So all of your lights can be controlled with this app on your phone, or here in the center, or at all of the ATC touch panels that we have throughout the coach. Another nice feature of this coach that's new is your Oasis systems moved from the overhead cab. Now it's over here, so you can turn your burner on. Your burner can run off of a diesel tank without being plugged in. But if you are at a campsite where you're paying, or even at a harvest house where you're not paying, if you've got 50 amp service or 30 amp service, you can turn AC1 or AC1 and 2 on. These elements here are going to be run for free if you're plugged into someone's 30 or 50 amps. So there's no reason that you would not use those systems. But if you want to get really, really, really hot water, you turn that burner system on, and I promise you, you're going to have to turn it down. You'll also see that now we're still on HVAC. I can control my living room, my kitchen, and my bedroom all in one place. And as you can see, you can choose different types of things. Like you can choose your fan speed, right? You can also choose automatic mode, which is going to choose whatever is most efficient to cool the coach. You could use heat pumps, which would be specifically for using oh, I just turned off Jody's air conditioner. Don't do that. He's making a face at me. You could use your furnace, or your heat pumps are going to be out of the Penguin heat pumps and air conditioner units on top. The furnace is going to be through your Oasis system, this system here. And then you've got your fan mode, so it's just fan, no air conditioning, or you can turn it off. So all of these features, as you can see, are right here in the center. And if you set it to auto, it's like a car, you know, it's going to automatically turn your heat or air conditioning off to make sure your coach has always got that nice temperature that you've selected. Now your shade control, this is huge. You can choose all night, all day in different sections. Or you can do individual, so you can still choose to have individual shade control for each one of those rooms. And again, this is all on your phone, or it's here in the center. Your fan control, bathroom in the rear, the stool room in the middle, or the kitchen. You've got 3 fans again, and you've got that rain override, so if you want to keep them open and it's drizzly, you could do that. Your floor heat, again, you've got 3-zone floor heat, the back, the mid, and the front. So if you want to keep that back warm, keep the mid cool, and keep the front warm, it's perfect for coffee in the morning. Another great feature here, this is where you would set up your auto gen start. This is also where you would be able to set up quiet time, and this is also where you're going to be able to see what you have, how much time you have left in your batteries. Also, you'll notice here our solar system status is showing us what we've got coming in. Now, this coach does not have any extra or additional solar on top of it. It's just got the 10-watt panel. I would be very inclined to add 4 panels to the top of this coach at 190 watts a piece if you think you're going to be boondocking. And then here you can see everything that's running. Batteries on, generators on. You can see if you're plugged into shore power. Everything is right here in the center. And then your home screen gives you a really nice snapshot. Turn off your lights, check out your tank levels, look at your battery, turn on your water pump, turn on your block heater, all of it in a snapshot. So again, this is a really big improvement for the coach in 2026 to have these ATC panels. Now, as I come in here, I want to just show off. So first and foremost, if we are camping with kiddos, and we want to be able to stay up and play cards, I can close this door. I can even close this door, leave the little accent lights on, so the kids will have just a little light coming out from underneath in the courtesy light, and then close this pocket door. And now, not only do I have a place where they can sleep, let's say that the grandparents are going to bed, the little ones are going to bed, and the older kids want to stay up and play cards. Cool. There's 3 full rooms in this coach, not including the bathrooms. If you include the bathroom, this is a 5-room apartment. It's really pretty spectacular. The other thing that's nice is you can fit adults in here. My son's 21 years old. He's probably 5'10". I think he'd like to be 5'11", but we have a 72-inch bunk. This is a 73-inch bunk. You can sleep in here and get up in the morning, take a shower, have both doors closed, and still have privacy, which is a really, really nice feature for the kids to be able to have their own space. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this table, in combination with those 2 additional seats that you can pull out from underneath, you could very easily fit 3 people at this table and have everyone sitting around having a meal together. So if you needed to sleep more than 6, you could get the standard table that comes on this coach, where this booth would convert into a sleeping area. The downside to that, of course, is that you would not be able to have as many people around here. The other thing that we thought about when we ordered this coach is you've got the televator on the other side. So if I can sit here, someone can sit here, and then I have a couch instead of theater seats, and I can turn around that front recliner, everyone can sit around and watch a movie, right? And I know that this sounds silly, but functionality in a coach comes with everybody having a place to sit. You don't have to drag out extra chairs. And then when it comes to sleeping accommodations, there's nothing worse than women really without sleep are fine. I think it's because we are mothers and we end up not sleeping half the time because either we're taking care of the kids or we're staying up worrying about them. But you got a guy who doesn't get a good night's of sleep, and oh man, they get so grumpy. So to be able to get this really nice hide-a-bed here, you know, for your son-in-law or your son, so that they can get some good shut-eye before you get up and go fishing or whatever it is for the rest of the day, is clutch. And this is a really nice, comfortable hide-a-bed. And as you can see, I can still walk here around the hide-a-bed. It's a queen size. This mattress will actually inflate a little bit, if you will. And it's really soft. And it's comfortable. Like, I would be comfortable with you coming in and trying this out after you watched my video and you called me. I'm fully accountable. If you come in and you want to try out the mattress, I think you'll find it's also comfortable. I think you'll find I was being honest about that. So a great way to be able to have, again, the whole family out on a camping trip. Super easy to stow and to deploy. It's nice that these don't come off because it's less cushions to have to figure out where to stick when you're hanging out or in the morning. Because you can leave that bed down and all, like, curl up and watch a movie together too. It's kind of cute. But that's why we don't have theater seats on this coach. You can have theater seats. If you have theater seats, you still have a lot of seats, but that middle section and being able to fit 3 or 4 people on that seat as opposed to just 2 is always nice. Not to mention, this couch is long enough where you could lay down and take a nap on it in the middle of the day, for sure. Now, of course, when you have a lot of people, you're going to have board games. You're going to have flashlights, batteries. You're going to have coffee cups, beer steins, shot glasses. Lots of shot glasses could fit up here, like at least 100. What do you think, Jody? Jody's like, yeah, at least 100, Katie. We could try it out, though. You know, I think we should talk to Andrew about a maiden voyage where we do a capacity test. That's what we'll say. Andrew, we need to take the Dutch Start out for a capacity test so we can see what we could carry here. Now, when I'm sitting down over here, you'll notice my TV's not up. Well, what the heck? All I have to do is go here, hit TV lift, TV up, and there we go. Now we've got a full TV coming up. And while we're waiting for that nice little TV, I want to see if I can, oh, there it goes. Show you the storage underneath here. You're not going to keep a whole lot of stuff down there, but definitely with a bin with some blankets in there, maybe some pillows for your hide-a-bed, and it just snaps right here back into place. So cool little seat. this would be a great place to keep if you've got fine furry friends that want a place to hang out. Little pet area there. And then as you can see, 50-inch flat screen TV. Now this is a smart TV, so again, we still have the same setup where we have all of our inputs here, but if you wanted to, oh, and you'll see, look, it says satellite bunk 1 and 2, so you could actually plug it in here to get those set up. But again, you could definitely use a Blu-ray player or anything along those lines. But keep in mind, this coach has DirecTV. I'm sorry, not DirecTV. Yeah, DirecTV. I'm right. DirecTV in motion satellite. So this is set up to have DirecTV. So if you're watching the football games, especially like the big games, like tonight's Monday night game with the Broncos, which is why I had to wear my orange and blue today. But if you're watching the football games, a lot of times, even though this coach has got that big Starlink receiver with 130-degree, visibility into the sky, sometimes it gets a little bogged down when everyone's watching the same game. So having that DirecTV gives you access to all of those sports teams. So if you're an Avs fan or a Broncos fan and you go to a lot of sports games, you have not only Starlink, so you could use your smart TV. You don't need a Roku or a Fire Stick, by the way. This has got apps for everything: Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, whatever it is. It's all on this television without any kind of apparatus. But it is nice to have both satellite and cable when you are a sports fan, because again, those games don't come in as clear as you'd like sometimes. Now we're going to get over here to one of my other favorite features. So as you know, I do have a Superstar. I have this same storage compartment. I have a toaster oven that you could literally cook pizzas in. It's pretty big. It fits up here. I keep a box with all my bread up there. I've got the same 19.7 cubic foot refrigerator. It has the Prosecco shelf that drops down, the big storage for vegetables, the charcuterie drawer, the big drawer storage here. I'll tell you though, I do find that if you keep your bubbly water and your drinks in this refrigerator, you end up not having enough room for all of your food. So this coach has also the outdoor refrigerator and freezer combination as well. This is going to be plenty of room for popsicles and hot dogs and hamburgers and chicken and all that stuff. But just having the two places to keep your drinks will certainly save you some room. But I love this big storage up top. This is a very nice feature to have, because then you're taking everything out of this compartment and you can use this great place right here to keep a coffee pot, right? You could keep your coffee maker right here, slide it in, put it away. These push to release doors are so important, because when you lock them, they don't come out. We used to have like a little button here, and people would pull on it and they'd snap off the lock all the time. I know it sounds crazy for those of you who've never had a Newmar, but these don't actually open while you're driving down the road. Isn't that crazy? And you also, look at how many you get. You get 6 of them, and they're huge. So plenty of room to keep all of your dry goods. I'll always recommend you keep your dry goods in a container. Great place to keep. I keep my plates and my bowls over here. I keep my placemats and napkins on the other side. That way when the kids are setting the table, it's easy for them to get to them without interfering with me in the kitchen. Now here in the kitchen, great cabinet storage overhead. Now if you didn't want to have your coffee pot in there or was too wide, you could also remove this shelf and keep your coffee pot up here. I would keep my toaster above the refrigerator, but that's a great place for it. Plenty of room here. This is an adjustable shelf too, so if you do have balsamic vinegar and olive oil and some of those nicer things to cook with, you can choose that cabinet for taller things, or this is a set shelf over here as well. And then of course we got plenty of room for spices up top. And then I wanted to bring attention to this. So this has got an all fry. So not only is it a convection and microwave oven, this is an air fryer. So you can make tater tots and French fries, hash browns, all the things that you are usually using your air fryer for at home in this microwave and convection oven. And I've had a few people go, oh, isn't it small? No, it's not small. It just has racks in it. When you take the racks in it, or take the racks out of it, this is a great place to be able to put a clay pot. If you wanted to bake a chicken in a coach, in a convection microwave or convection oven, it's pushing the air around, right? That's how it's heating the apparatus. So one benefit is it heats up a lot faster, but one detriment is it can tend to dry things out. So if you have one of these clay pots that I'm talking about, you soak it in water, and what it does is it basically steams your food, and it keeps your chicken or your turkey or your fish, whatever you're cooking, so moist. And it also kind of traps that all of the aromas in there, so it's not smelling up the coach as much, especially if you're making fish. So I have a shrimp dish that I make with it. It's a great feature for this coach. If you don't know where to find one, I will make sure my phone number is up on my clipboard at the end of the video. It's also up at the beginning, but you can just call me and I'd be happy to give you the information. I actually get that call quite frequently because it's a really cool feature. Another great feature about this coach is going to be the fact that we have the cutting boards built into the back of these. You can order extra cutting boards when you order your coach or when you pick it up so that you can actually use those. But taking this out is really, really amazing because you have not only a 1 through 5 setting on this, but you also have a temperature setting. So you could set this to 360 degrees at any altitude and always have the same fried egg. And you could even have a paper towel, or in my case, I have these little silicone mats that I put on top. But you could have something on top of this. If you put a paper towel on top of this in boiled water, it wouldn't catch on fire. So not only is it great to cook with, but it's also very safe for the coach. There's no fire in here. So you don't have to worry about the paper towel roll, falling over and landing on top of your propane burner stove and lighting your RV on fire. I mean, not that that's ever happened before, but that's why they have egress doors, right? So this setup is cool. If I was serving, a nice breakfast and I had, my French toast, bacon going outside, I could still have all the fixings in here for, mimosas, syrup, fresh cut fruit. And then I have an outlet down here. I have an outlet here. And I have tons of space. So 18.5 inches was a change they made a few years back when they did the facelift on this coach. But as you can see, tons of space here to keep your coffee pot out, your toaster oven out while you're camping. And then we ordered this coach specifically without a dishwasher in it, because when you have more kids, you usually need to have more stuff. So this gives you a little bit more room for larger pots and pans than you would have in our traditional Dutch Star, because of the fact that we anticipate you're going to have more people to cook for when you can sleep 6 to 8 so easily. But as you can see, these drawers, of course, are where you're going to keep your spatulas and all your tongs, all the things that you're using for cooking, maybe some extra kitchen towels. Just a really, really, really nice setup. And then underneath here, again, in the true style of Newmar, pull to release, easy to access all your cleaning supplies in one place. And then over here on the left, there's a place to keep your slide cup or your sink covers. So what you would do is, this has a little lip on the front of it because you've got the farm style sink, but you just take this and you slide it right in here. So while you're camping, instead of having nowhere to put these, oh, let's see, here we go. Oh, I'm caught up at the front. I was like, why isn't it sliding in? Hold, please. So while you're cooking, you can go ahead and put these right here inside, and they've got a nice place where they stow, so they're out of the way, they're not going to get damaged, and then you can have access to your sink. The other thing I really love about this coach is this sink. So of course we've got the residential style faucet head with both spray and pour, right? So easy to clean everything out. But I love the fact that I've got a smaller basin on the left or on the right and a larger basin on the left. Big place to put in if I'm making any kind of pasta, macaroni and cheese, whatever, spaghetti, and then a nice little vegetable prep sink where I can keep things separately. Or if I'm doing dishes by hand, which you would be in this coach, soapy water rinse sink. So you can keep everything separated. So it'd be very easy to get your dishes done. And plenty of room back here for a drying rack. So I had someone who wrote in the other day and he said, your videos are way too long. Grant Russell did a video on this coach earlier, about 4 months ago. Teresa did a video on this coach a month ago. So if I'm too much for you, it's okay. We have other people here. If you like me though, please call me. That's really important. Because I do make these longer videos to make sure that you can see all of the features that are in this coach. Because if you buy this, man, I'll bet you're excited. I'll bet you want to get it set up. I'll bet you want to be able to know where everything is and where you could put stuff. I mean, imagining yourself in this is like, it'd be like buying a house and complaining about seeing the size of the bedrooms, in my opinion. I mean, you just need to see this stuff so you know where everything is. Like keeping your water bottles and your birding books, you know, on your nightstands, because when your slides are closed, that's where those things are going to be accessible, right? So I'm going to go ahead, Jody, just so you know, I am going to put both slides in right now. I'm going to put this full-length wall slide back out, but I am going to bring these both in so we can see the walking room. Because if you have littles, what's the number one thing that happens as soon as they start moving? Mom, I have to go to the bathroom. How much longer? I have to go potty. How much longer? So you don't have to worry about that in a Newmar Dutch Star, because these coaches are designed specifically so that you can get to the bathroom while you're going down the road. This is very much on purpose that we have these slides set up so that you can have access to the restroom when you're going down the road. Now, if you have the ladder in place here, it's definitely tighter. I'll tell you that. I take mine out for that reason. But this is so easy to get into. So the kids would really very easily be able to get into this center bathroom without having any issue while you're going down the road. Or you could as well. The other thing that they can get into is the refrigerator, right? So both while you're in motion. And you can lock them, right? The other thing I really like about this, you don't need a Brita in this coach. It's got a full house water heater, and it also has a water filter in the refrigerator, so you're getting fresh water filtered twice out of that door. And not having to have a Brita, of course, it makes for a lot better room. Now, I want to just show the back of this right here, so you can see. Look at the size of that chain. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back out, so you can see how controlled this is. I sell a lot of RVs. I sell multiple manufacturers. These HWH slides are a difference maker in our product. They are so robust. They are carrying the weight of the whole entire slide. And what they do for people is just amazing. Being able to have no carpet in a coach and having a really nice soft landing when it goes out and down is a fantastic difference maker. This coach is so much easier to keep clean because of their HWH slides. Now you'll notice the HWH is also our leveling jack system. So our computerized leveling jack is also operated by the same hydraulic system that's operating the slides as well. And then you'll notice here we have our brand specialist. I've got to tell you, I've talked to Mary oftentimes. She's always willing to help out with anything. But Spencer and Mary are both there for you. You can always email Dutch Star Service. There's an 800 number that goes to them off hours. So if there's an emergency, you can still get a hold of someone. Noogle is like Google for your Newmar. Newpar is where you could order things like all of your parts, but you could order like, you know, your ceiling fan, you know, filters, your whole house water filter, all those things can be ordered and sent to you directly through Newpar. And then this is a Freightliner custom chassis. We have both Spartan and Freightliner listed here. The nice thing about Freightliner is they have a system called 24/7 Direct. And it is an app that you have access to when you own a Freightliner. And the cool thing about the app is it shows you so many different things. So again, we have our app for our our coach controls. We also have our Newmar app, but the Freightliner Direct, our 24/7 Direct, I think it's this one, has things like it has located dealership. You can call the 800 number, you can email them, and then it also has cool little things like it has all of the different dash lights that might come up while you're driving if you have an emergency, and you can actually see what they are. But the nice thing about the 24/7 Direct app is that if you call them, I called them the other day and, oh shoot, where's the keys? Does Mary have the keys still? Probably. Shoot, yep, they locked the keys up. I can't show you the dash. Oh well. Grant did a great job showing you the dash. If you call them, you can actually get a hold of them at any point in time. Now, one of the nice things about this coach is that it has a few different things. So first and foremost, it has your navigation system, and then it has also your your 360 camera. So the nav system has got all of the built-in measurements and weights of the coach. When you go to your 360 camera, you can see not only what's in front of you, but what's around you. Like I've got the rear, I've got the engine cover open. You can see the doors are open on the coach. Everything is around you. You can see where the van is in front of us. You can see this. So if you're gonna hit your picnic table and you wanna get it really good, you can aim for it with this thing. But if you're just trying to see what's next to you or who's outside, I mean, this is really good information for anybody who's looking at something for a security purpose. And I have a customer who set his coach up so that when you ring the doorbell, it turns this camera on. So we don't even need a ring system. I mean, I had never thought about just using your side view camera to see who's at your door, but there you go. Okay, so air conditioner, dash air conditioner, visor controls, docking lights, overhead fans. So for the overhead fan, high, medium, and low. Front fan, high, off, and low. This is for your hydronic heat, so you can keep the front of this coach warm with your hydronic heating system. Generator start, lock and unlock your doors, or your entry door here. You can turn your air horn off so that if you're honking, you're not gonna like blow someone out of the, you know, it's nice to be able to turn it down if you're in the park. And then courtesy lights, and then also, as you can see where I was looking for the keys earlier, place to keep your keys if you have them. Another feature I want to make mention of right now, it's going to be a little harder to show because I don't have the keys to the coach, but you can put the coach into drive, neutral, reverse right here on this little toggle, right? That's this. And then this guy here is off, low, medium, and high for your engine brake. And you can also manually shift your Allison transmission still, even though you're on a stock control. And what it does is it gives you much more room for your cup holders, for your power window, for your tag dump. I don't know why that's on. You would dump your tag maybe for parking, but really not very often. But you would usually just leave it in auto. And then your power heated mirrors. And this is to turn the heat on and off. And you'll notice when we go outside, I'll show it to you, but the side camera is actually integrated on the Dutch Star into the actual mirror, so it's not mounted to the side of the coach. And then this coach has not only the Mobilize system, but it also has the optional lane tracking package. So I think that's the easier one to see. There's a little triangle there in the mirror. So your blind spot assist is another optional feature that this has. So this has the road watch feature. It has drive tech. It has OptiView. And the road watch feature is going to be your adaptive cruise control, your electronic stability control, and your automatic traction control. So that's going to be a feature that this coach has on it. It also comes standard with Ultra Steer. It's not optional. It also comes standard with V-Ride. And then the difference maker for people who are looking at Dutch Stars versus Ventanas is that it has an independent front suspension. So there's the 24/7 direct. All of my Freightliner chassis are going to have, or I should say my pushers are going to have what's called Brake Sync. Brake Sync basically gives you a way to integrate your tire pressure monitoring system that you have standard into your dash into your tow vehicle so that those tire pressures will read on your dash for you. And it also has a system where it keeps a second cylinder charged with air so that if you do lose your air brakes, you don't have to worry about losing the ability to stop your tow vehicle. Now, another feature that I wanted to make sure we talked about is Ultra Steer. So this Ultra Steer is a really nice feature that's going to give you a better turning radius in the front, as well as the fact that you've got your passive tag. Now we've got an L9 at 450 horsepower as opposed to the 400 horsepower on a Ventana, 1,250 foot-pounds of torque. Allison, of course, again, 6-speed, Allison 3000 6-speed transmission, 150-gallon fuel capacity. I know I mentioned that earlier. 15-gallon DEF tank. But these spec sheets here that show you your hitch rating of 15,000 pounds, your alternator, your battery systems, your steering column systems, all of your warranties. These spec sheets are available on all of my coaches, so I can always send these to you when you're out there looking at coaches, so that you can compare what's different between a Ventana and a Dutch Star. Because at the end of the day, if you can get into a really nice Newmar, but you have to step down into a Ventana, let's talk about what those differences are as opposed to just writing it off. Because now that Ventanas don't have carpet in them, there's a lot of benefits to looking at both products if you're trying to save a little money. So I've got automatic headlights now, so that A is here. I also have automatic brights. So this coach, if I've got someone coming towards me, will actually dim its lights automatically without me having to do anything. Now, spending a lot of time on the inside of this coach because Grant spent so much time on the outside of it. One thing we did talk about, as of 2026, when you put the coach into reverse, there's no longer a microphone, so you actually have to call. That was mentioned in the video, and it's a new change, but I mean, no one's using the microphone anyway. They're using their cell phones when they're doing their parking coordination. But I wanted to show the footrest coming out because I don't think everyone knows that that's there. I think that that's like one of the nicest features. And then I love the step cover because if you have a fine furry friend and you want to put him underneath when he's being naughty, you can just close the door. No, I'm just kidding. It's so that he doesn't fall in the stairwell. But no, it's a cool setup. And then a new feature, that we no longer have a desk here, but we now have our camera control over here. And this is going to mimic what's on the dash. So you can actually see all the different things that you're looking for. So again, there's that doorbell display I was mentioning earlier. All of that can be here, or your navigation. And then this is the not queen's seat. So this is the regular seat. There's a little lever here you use to lift that up so that you can adjust your height. There we go. So as you can see, I can get my arms down here now. If I was to have the queen seat, I would have room for a small white dog. If I don't have a small white dog, this is probably a more comfortable seat to sit in on the long road because it's a little bit more like a recliner. Some nice features though, you have not only a wireless charger here, you've also got a USB Type C. Oh, look, it's just charging. A Type C and Type A back here, as well as 110 outlets. There are both day and night shades for this front screen here. And then you can lift this up. I better stand up and do this, huh, Jody? Otherwise it whacks itself. There we go. So you could lift this up so you could actually see while you're going down the road out this window with nice clarity. So nice features there. Now when we open this, we are going to come out into a really cool feature. On the way down, we'll show you where you've got power locks for all of your bays that you can use on your door control, or you can just open and close them here. You can turn your house batteries on and off right here, and then you got your patio light right here. And then over here you have an all lights on and off switch, and then down here you also will see that you have a fire extinguisher, and then right here you'll see that you have the optional heated seats for this coach. Now, for those of you that are traveling with pets, this is a great place to keep pet food, right? So you've got, you can keep all your dog food or kitty food right there, and then dishes. But if you're not and you want to keep things like flashlights, maybe a headlamp, anything that you might need for outside, you could keep it right there, which is super, super nice. We don't really need the generator on, because only Jody needs to have all 3 air conditioners on for his videos. He's giving me the nod. Onyx package. I mean, right from the get-go, everything is Onyx on this coach. Newmar did such a great job with it. I love the Onyx package. You can use your code. We have our code set here. You hold 1 down, it will lock the coach. You hold 2 down, it'll lock the baggage doors. You put your code in and hold it down, it'll open in reverse, right? So you can control your entry ports with your key fob without having to bring, with your keypad without having to bring your key fob with you. On the Onyx package, steps are black, trim is black, mirrors are black, wheels are black. This coach is just a badass coach. There's your 360 camera. As you can see here, your comfort drive and passive steer it provides, it's not kidding, it is the ultimate driving experience. If you're hitting gale force winds, having an electronically biased straight that's fighting the wind for you without you having to fight it is really going to save driver fatigue in your shoulders after you do a really long crosswind drive across I-80. I mean, it's just a huge difference maker. But when you do it, you have, again, your integrated blind spot assist up here, your side mirrors up, or your side camera up here, and then this is your blind spot assist sensor. This is your flagpole bracket. I don't know why I don't have the power awnings open to show you, but I don't, so they're right there. These power window awnings are going to keep the sun off of you when it's too gusty. I never get to do this. This is like such a nice day. I love the end of September. Both of my awnings, this is of course the optional awning packages, or awning package, but both of my awnings are open. Usually I have to open the window awnings to keep the sun out because it's so blustery here, but it's just a gorgeous day. You'll notice that the door awning has LED lights in it, so if you do have someone come over to see you and you want to turn on that side camera so you can see who it is, you can illuminate it as well. This is a dual fill, so right back past these American racing wheels, you'll see that we have our fuel tank. It's 150 gallons once again on a 43-foot coach. It is 100 on a 40-foot coach. So a 43 is 150, a 40 is 100 gallons. As I mentioned earlier, we've got our Dometic on a slide. This is a great place to be able to keep all of the drinks, all of the popsicles. You can make it a freezer or a refrigerator. And then I love the shelf. This started off in 2021 with a King Air. They've now integrated in most of the products. But if you're trying to load up your refrigerator, it's nice to be able to put like your 6-pack down so that you can take it off and put it in there. So yeah, great feature there. So one of the things that's nice about this coach is that, again, we have, for anyone who's tailgating, a sound bar. You can just play your sound, you can play your sound system, but you also have a really nice, again, Samsung 43-inch flat screen TV that has not only Starlink, but also has direct TV, so you can get those games with that better clarity on outside. And I mention that because, I mean, I think if I had kids, well, I've taken my kids tailgating in my Superstar. Like, we went and saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and everyone was sitting out listening to music videos in the parking lot. I'm trying to get to the window sticker of this bad boy. I got so much paperwork today. So much to talk about, though, right? Okay, there we go. So I didn't remember the name of the graphics on this. It just should be called Badass Graphics. This is a really pretty silver, white, black, and then a nice dark gray. This Breda package for the exterior in combination with the Onyx package just looks so cool. It's such a good looking coach. Now I left one tray out on the other side and one tray out on this side. And the reason I did that is I want to show you accessibility. So that's a more narrow tray. This one's extra wide, as you can see, super, super big, 1,000-pound weight rating. I love non-power trays. I know, I'm not bougie, I guess, but look at how easy those MoRide doors. So the MoRide doors, that's just like a new feature for 2026. Improved doors. In 2023, we really improved the ability to close them without having to slam them so hard, but now they're even more rigid. And then you have awning controls out here underneath, so if it starts to get blustery and you need to rush in, you can go ahead and push the close button and bring those in. I'm not going to do it right now because it's hot. It's hot today, isn't it, Jody? It's hot. Oh, road vac right there. Vacuum your husband, vacuum your dog, vacuum your kids, all outside or inside. I used it to vacuum out my bays when we were in Creed. We had a little mouse nest in one of them. That's what happens when you park in a barn. Now you'll notice this does not have a tray in it. It's totally optional to have a tray. Sometimes it's nicer, like if you had paddle boards, this would be a great bay to keep them in, and you don't really need a tray for them. This is a killer new feature. So this little guy here does not require a screwdriver. You can just, it's got a nice like grippy screw here so you can get these covers off easy. One of the things, so when it came out, I didn't think it was such a big deal. One of my technicians was like, oh my God, Katie, this is the difference between night and day for a technician. For diagnosis, he was so excited about it. Now over here on the left, we still have that drain port that comes off of our roof deck that's up top on this Dutch Star. As you can see here, there's that paint. Look at how beautiful. That's a great place to see those colors. So beautiful paint job. Again, this is the Breda paint job. There's another side monitor. This is, of course, your drive axle, right? So you got 4 wheels or 4 tires on this, only 2 in the back, because there's a pin and this pivots That makes your turning radius start from the middle of this wheel to the middle of the front wheel. This is a very small turning radius for a very large coach. Much easier to park than my Super C. And then we've got our def tank is a dual fill def, which is super nice. And then in the back here, I can always tell the difference of the chassis configuration. This is very much Freightliner. I've got my chassis on and off switch back here with my 2 AGM batteries. And even Dutch Star is blocked out here below the egress door. Another side assist monitor. Again, 450 horsepower, 1,250 foot-pounds of torque, 15,000 pound towing capacity. There's your brake sync connection, 7-pin connector, nice hitch control. Here's your VIN plate etched and bolted onto the chassis for anyone who wants to see where that is. So on the Freightliner, it's right here, and this is etched into this rear compartment. You can see that 8.9 liter ISL, all in red, married to this Freightliner chassis. And you can also see that if you were to try to get a hot shower, because you're below this cool line, you're not going to get a hot shower in this coach, which means we need to put more Oasis juice in here. That's a free gift with purchase. Whatever you reach out to me and you buy your coach, I always make sure you have that on the road. Why? Because I want you to be happy. And I hope that that translates. I mean, I'm the only one that's got 6, 7 coaches on order at any given time at this store, because I sell them across the country. But I think one of the reasons that we sell so many coaches, so first and foremost, you know, we're not afraid to order a coach and give you a great deal. If this isn't to your flavor and you would take this, but you just want to tweak it a little bit, you can do that with us. We're more than happy to make sure you get exactly what you want. But one of the things I can bring to the table is I'm very specific in how I help you to choose your options to make sure you're getting the right coach for yourself, because I do care. A difference between a Ventana and a Dutch Star: side radiator, right? So you have a rear radiator in a Ventana, you got a side radiator here. Again, dual fill def, American X Racing wheels. And then down below here, you can see I've got a place where you would be able to store, you know, honestly, you're probably not going to keep anything in there except for maybe like a 10-foot gravity hose with a clear end on it. But most importantly, some gloves, so that when you're putting def in your coach, you can put a glove on. I mean, every time I fill my coach up, I always wear rubber gloves because the def is so stinky. And I mean, you're not filling it all the time, but even diesel smells terrible. So I love having gloves out here, so when I get out into my coach, I don't have to go digging for them. So here you've got a power water hose for your city water on a power reel. You've got a clear whole house water filter housing, which is a nice new feature. It's no longer just blue, so you could actually see through it and tell whether or not you need to clean it. Your SaniCon system, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this out so that we're not underneath the slide. But as you can see, this SaniCon system has a huge benefit. You can take a hose and plug it into this line here. So if you have gray water that's almost full and you're running a load of laundry and you've got one kid that still needs to shower, just dump your gray water. Take that hose and run it over into a local drain. You really don't have to worry about it there. It's such a nice feature to be able to do that. You still have a gravity hose here, so if you wanted to be able to dump manually without having your SaniCon system on, both features are optional for you. And then another nice feature in all of our Newmars is that we've got a hot and cold shower here. Now the reason I left this slide open is, check this out, LED light, paper towel holder. If I got my little step stool, which I always carry with me when I sit down and I'm setting everything up, I can sit down here underneath very easily, very comfortably, and get my coach hooked up, even if I've already got my slides deployed. Another feature though, again, Onyx package, even your exhaust pipe is black. Such a cool feature. Now when I close this door, you'll see it's gonna ratchet up. Do you wanna come over here, Jody, so you can show that? So when I close this, it actually gets higher. So it drops down so I can have these doors open and still operate them with my slide deployed. A new standard feature, the surge protector used to be optional. Now it's just standard. That's also your cable inlet. That's also your power cord on a power reel. Your bougie, unlike me, I have to reach over and bend over to get it, but your power cord retract is right here. Your Oasis dual loop Chinook system. Again, this is a big, big deal. This is a very, very hot water system. So for anyone who's looking to take a hot shower, it is 100% possible when you have an Oasis system. And then that dual loop is more about heating the coach with hydronic heat, where when it's pushing that tube of liquid out of that 8-gallon reservoir that's heating that liquid and then pushing air over the top of it to heat the coach, by having 2 loops, it's got less time has to travel to cool down, so giving you more efficient heat as well. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted to keep one tray in, so you can see this is where the tray is when it's stowed, but look at how much access I have to this. If I want to be able to access this, I can get all the way here to the middle of the slide, even though my slide is deployed. I just, you know, after spending so much time RVing, I think it's really important to talk about these differences, because these are the things that make life so much easier. Again, we've got our Victron energy management system. It's tied into your single 640 amp hour Lithionics battery. Again, better communication with this system than ever before. That second inverter does not do anything but give you the ability to run your air conditioner. But man, what a nice feature. Again, you don't have to have the gen on while you're driving. That energy management system is actually going to charge that battery to its appropriate capacity, so you can leave your air conditioner on the whole time you're driving down the road. Look at how easy those doors are to slide. We could have never done this video in 2022 because those doors are so much easier to close now. Now, again, we've got our docking light right there, which is great. Our nice, again, American X Racing wheels. Very neat compartment, extra fuses as well. And then underneath here, again, I know we've talked about it. I talked about that already. Just make sure I covered everything. 10 kilowatt quiet diesel generator. This coach does have the optional hot water line, and it also has an air chuck. That hot water line, I get a lot of people who aren't sure whether or not they need to order it. It's not very expensive, but what is expensive is when you go to trade in your coach, and it's got all these bugs baked into the paint or into what is, you know, and this the clear mask, you know, because we've got that really nice clear mask in the coach. But if you don't get the bugs off of this and the sun sits there and cooks them into your coach while you're camping, that's going to be costly. It's going to be a lot more than $300 in depreciation when all you see is bug guts all over the front of this nice coach. So get the hot water line when you order your coach from me. There's one of your cameras. Again, this has got 360 mobilized right here. The radar for your cruise control is right here. Everything is all blacked out when you're in this Onyx package. Again, this is an Onyx package Freightliner chassis. Spartan's also available. For me, this would be my preference for sure. This is 5N250105. Again, 5N250105. And I'll tell you what, like, I don't know why this coach is sitting here. If you want a good deal on an RV, give me a call. If we need to order one, we'll order one. But if you want a great deal, this coach has been here for almost 6 months now. It's time for it to find a home. Give me a call, 303-562-8659. Right, you know, I'll rise to the challenge. Let me know what it takes to get you out on the road and camping.